Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Quarter 3 2020 webinars. We are happy to have you all of you with us today. We will start by introducing ourselves. My name is Alan. I'm an Inside Sales Manager at NAKIVO, and my colleague, Nick, Director of Technical Pre-Sales. We will start by quickly going over NAKIVO growth, milestone, the functionality of NAKIVO Backup and Replication. Then we will turn to our feature highlight, backup from Microsoft Office 365, before covering all the newest features in the latest and upcoming versions. Later, we will also give a demo of some of the new features to give you a better idea of how they can improve your data protection. And finally, we will update you with the pricing detail for edition upgrades, support Uplift, and finish up with the Q&A section. Let's try out in the chat first. It is your first NAKIVO webinar. Please take a second to answer it in the chat. If this is your first NAKIVO webinar, please type 1. If you have been in the previous webinars, simply type 2. I see some of you are regular attendees of our events, and for others, this is your first time. For all of you, we have prepared a lot of interesting and relevant information. So please stay with us to the end of the webinars and don't hesitate to ask us anything. Nick and I will answer all of your questions at the end of the webinar. If you can answer some of your questions due to the time restrictions, we will reach out to you later by email or the phone. Now let's get started. First of all, let me share some of the latest news and what NAKIVO has achieved in 2020. In spite of all the difficult global situation this year, NAKIVO customer base has grown to over 15,000 companies worldwide. The largest of these protect 8,000 VMs across over 300 global locations. We have over 5,000 channel partners in more than 140 countries, and we collaborate with the world leading technology companies. Last but not least, features customer has named NAKIVO the rising star in the disaster recovery software category in its 2020 Spring Customer Success Report. We at NAKIVO are happy that our software meet the advanced protection needs of today's companies. And here are some of our significant milestones throughout the years from 2012 to the present. Our software is used worldwide in North America and South America, Europe, Asia, and few African countries, Australia and New Zealand. NAKIVO global annual revenue has increased by 40% in 2020 when compared to 2019. The level of satisfaction with the customer service is now 98%, and we are working hard to reach 100%. Specifically, our customer support service is now available 24 hours per day and 7 days per week, all year round. The data protection industry is constantly changing, and we all at NAKIVO continue to learn new things and develop professionally to stay aware of the latest trends. Our strategy is to always keep moving forward and growing. The year 2020 became a milestone for it. Our customer acquisition rate is the highest in the history of NAKIVO so far. Some of the world leading brand that trust NAKIVO. So we have the KPN, a telecommunication company, and the Save the Children organization in Spain, and some other organizations that start using NAKIVO in 2020. Besides that, some of the world-renowned companies also trust NAKIVO. Among them, we have like Coca-Cola, DHL, Honda, Fujifilm, SpaceX, and more. Here's the summary of why so many companies choose NAKIVO. NAKIVO Backup and Replication deliver reliable protections for virtual, physical, cloud, and SaaS environment. The intensive set of disaster recovery features allow the user to improve the RTOs and RPO by automating and orchestrating recovery workflow. Versatile deployment mean that NAKIVO Backup and Replication can be installed on a NAS device to create a powerful backup appliance and optimize the backup infrastructure. Our team keeps expanding the functionality of NAKIVO Backup and Replication. In 2020, we have rolled out 6 releases that include many features requested by our customer. NAKIVO Backup and Replication is designed to satisfy the need of both SMB and the enterprises. And finally, NAKIVO is offering a flexible pricing and licensing model to fit any of the budgets. Let's check what our customers say about NAKIVO. So we have China Airlines, a leading airline carrier in the Asia Pacific, say that NAKIVO saved them up to 35% on backup administration time with the ease of VM backup, replication, and recovery job management, and have reduced their VM backup cost by 30%. Another customer that Suwannee American Cement, the second largest cement supplier in Florida, USA, say reduce backup. NAKIVO has helped them to reduce the backup administration time by 60% by deploying on QNAP Nest. Now, let me give you a quick overview about the deployment options for NAKIVO Backup and Replication. As you already know enough about the solutions, this will be just a quick reminder. If, however, you feel that some information that is relevant for you is missing, you are more than welcome to ask us anything. NAKIVO Backup and Replication is a fast, reliable, and affordable solution that delivers backup, replication, instant granular recovery, and disaster recovery from a single pane of glass. We will move through this quickly as you most likely already know about it, but if you are thinking of making changes to your infrastructure, NAKIVO Backup and Replication can be installed on virtual machines, physical machines, and NAS devices, and also it can be deployed as a VMware or a Nutanix virtual appliance or Amazon Machines image. In addition, NAKIVO Backup and Replication can be integrated with QNAP, FreeNAS, Netgear, Ancestor, Western Digital, and Synology devices. By installing NAKIVO Backup and Replication on a NAS device, you receive a NAS-based backup appliance, where the backup software, hardware, storage, and data deduplication tools go as a single solution. With a backup appliance, you can double the backup performance, reduce storage space requirement, and offload the production environment. We also wanted to make sure we cover backup to cloud briefly, as we have added several new supported destinations over the past year. You can now send the backup directly to Amazon S3, Amazon EB3, Wasabi, and Azure. Once your backup are stored in the cloud, you can perform a full range of full, granular, and instant recovery to avoid lengthy disruption. A lot of the fellow customers prefer cloud-based backup as it converts the fixed capital cost of storage devices into a scalable operational cost. Now let's turn to our feature highlight, backup for the Microsoft Office 365. Nick, can you take on it?
Yes, can you make me a presenter, please?
Yes, already.
All right, so let me just focus on new features. There are a lot this year. Microsoft Backup for Office 365 gives you the tools to ensure that your Microsoft 365 data is safe and recoverable. Support for Exchange Online and OneDrive for Business and SharePoint Online backups coming in the next version. NAKIVO Backup and Replication gives you the tool to protect your cloud data. You can backup Exchange Online mailboxes and OneDrive for business files and then instantly recover individual emails, attachments, files, and folders. You can also search and browse through backups to simplify the recovery and reduce recovery time objectives. Now let's proceed to the new features added in the versions 9.3, 9.4, 10, and 10.1. NAKIVO Backup and Replication with version 9.3 offers native integration with Oracle RMAN, which is built-in Oracle functionality. You can save time on backup administration by managing backup and recovery operations of Oracle databases from single pane of glass. All the backups and recovery activities can be performed via the web interface of NAKIVO Backup and Replication with no need to run complex Oracle RMAN scripts. NAKIVO Backup and Replication version 9.4 enables using Amazon S3 as a destination for the backup data. You can send backups and backup copies of virtual machines, physical servers, Oracle databases, and Amazon EC2 instances directly to Amazon S3 storage. And VMs and servers can be booted from the compressed and deduplicated backups, and this will help to improve the recovery time. In addition, you can granularly restore individual files, folders, and application objects directly from the S3 storage. Another feature available since version 9.4 allows users to recover objects of Microsoft Exchange and Active Directory to any convenient location. You can browse also and search and recover individual objects directly from the backups, and objects can be restored either to the original or custom location. Role-based access allows you to customize permissions of the other users based on their role in the company. You can limit the actions available to users to eliminate the potential risks and threats. It is also possible to synchronize user management and access control by importing Active Directory users and groups. NAKIVO Backup and Replication now supports backing up and replication of VMs running on vSphere, which is the latest VMware version of virtualization platform. And another new feature allows sending backups and backup copies to Wasabi, which is very affordable and flexible cloud storage. And VMs and the individual files and application objects can be restored directly from this storage tab. You can protect your entire Linux infrastructure with the addition of Linux Workstation backup to existing support of Linux Server backup. You can now perform image-based incremental backups of Linux workstations and recover entire workstations or individual files and objects. P2V allows you to recover entire physical machines right from the backups to VMware VMs for testing purposes or to migrate workloads to the production environment if physical server goes down. The functionality covers Windows and Linux-based servers and workstations. We offer instant P2V recovery, which allows you to rapidly restore a failed machine as a VM, and full P2V recovery, which allows you to restore a physical machine as a VMware VM that is ready for long-term use in a production environment. Now let me focus on the latest release, which is NAKIVO Backup and Replication version 10.1. The main highlights of 10.1 are OneDrive for business backup and HP Store Once Catalyst integration. We already touched on OneDrive earlier, so we will focus on Catalyst integration here. You can integrate NAKIVO Backup and Replication with HP Store Once Catalyst to send source-side duplicated backups or Store Once appliances. This helps you reduce the stress on your network and improve VM backup performance. Very soon we are going to roll out a new version of NAKIVO Backup and Replication. The version offers SharePoint Online backups and also tenant role-based access control and some more enhancement. We have added SharePoint Online to backup for Microsoft Office 365. This means that with NAKIVO Backup and Replication, you can protect your Exchange Online, OneDrive for Business, and SharePoint data from a single solution. The tenant role-based access, which is the most relevant for those of you using multi-tenant setup, gives you the flexibility to assign parts of your data protection infrastructure to the tenants. The supported environment includes VMware, vSphere, Microsoft Hyper-V, physical servers, and workstations. Now let me show you a short demo of some of the newest features. So before I will show the user interface, I just would like to tell that feel free to post your questions right now, so I will be able to answer those. If you would like to have some more details about any of the features, we are happy to schedule a dedicated demo or even deployment session for you, so feel free to talk with your account manager. Meanwhile, I will show you some general overview of the new features we've added recently. All right, so I have opened the interface of NAKIVO Backup and Replication, and let me first touch the backups of the physical servers. As you may know, you need to go to the inventory to add the new servers you would like to backup. So you go to the settings, inventory, and over here NAKIVO gives you the options, and one of those will be physical servers. So now you can back up not only servers, but also workstations. And you can easily add the workstations by typing the IP address. So it says that once you add some of the workstation or physical server to NAKIVO inventory, NAKIVO will automatically inject to that server a transporter, which will help us to do the backups. What you need to do is just to choose the type of the server and then provide the IP address. If you have the range of the servers or IP addresses, you can just provide that range over here. So NAKIVO will add in a bulk all those servers. Let me go back to inventory and show you a real example of the server I've added recently. So that's the Linux and that's the Ubuntu desktop. You can easily remove the server or you can perform some edit operations on those servers. So once added to the inventory, you can go to the dashboard and perform the backups of those servers. In order to do that, you go to Create Physical Machine Backup Job. Then you choose the operating system, and we select our newly added desktop, Ubuntu desktop, to the environment. You can additionally use policy view, which will enable you to select automatically physical machines based on certain criteria. Let me move to the next step, which is destination. On a destination step, you can select any backup repository. You can backup directly to any type of clouds we support natively, or you can backup to local backup repository, like in my case, that would be on-board repository. Additionally, you can uncheck the disks which you would like to skip during the backup. Next step would be the scheduler. which gives you the flexibility in terms of multiple schedules. So in my case, let's assume I would like to back up this physical server periodically every hour during the work days. And I can add another scheduler which will run this backup periodically every 10 hours on weekends. Once you click on Show Calendar, NAKIVO will reflect all the backup and replication jobs in the calendar. Let's move to the next step. The fourth step, this is the recovery points. This is the retention policy of your backups. And the same way as for virtual machines, NAKIVO provides you up to 4,000 recovery points for the backups, and you can have GFS backup rotation. So this means that you can back up the physical machines or, well, servers or workstations, either per year, per month, per week. So let's assume I would like to have end of week, end of month backup and store the backup of the months during the 12 months. Let's move to the next step, which are the options. Over here, you can use application aware mode for Windows and Linux servers and workstations. Then you can use change tracking. In this case, NAKIVO will utilize NAKIVO proprietary change tracking technology, as well as if you transfer the data of sites. As an example, if you transfer the data to S3 or to any type of cloud storage, this would be recommended to use either network acceleration or encryption during the transfer. Additionally, you can generate reports after the job run. You can truncate, exchange, and SQL logs in case we are backing up Windows servers, and then you can run pre- and post-job scripting. You can limit the transporter load. This means that transporter will transfer 3, let's say, disks at a time. And you can also control your bandwidth by enabling bandwidth throttling rules. Let me click on Finish and run this job. In my example, I have already some backups which were running before, and this is the same server, I believe. Yeah, this is the Linux physical, and we have completed a couple of backups just for demonstration purposes. So let me give you an idea of what you can recover in terms of physical servers and workstations. For this one, let me click on Recover, and you get the following options. You can recover either individual files, which is granular recovery. You can easily perform these operations with any physical servers and workstations. You can perform the object level recovery for the servers, and this relates to Exchange, SQL, and Active Directory. Universal Object Recovery allows you to automatically map the disk of physical machine, which is already in a backup state, to any target. It can be either another virtual machine or another physical machine. So this gives you the possibility to quickly recover any type of object or file with NAKIVO Backup and Replication. Additionally, you can export backups to VMDK or VHD format. So let's say if you would like to convert to Hyper-V environment, physical machines, so you can export the backups to VHD format and then create a virtual machine and use this VHD disk as a target for the VM. And then there are two options for physical full machine recovery. As I've mentioned before, you can use flash boot, which is instant recovery, but in fact this one is used more for verification testing purposes or for urgent recoveries. If you would like to use full production recovery, the VM recovery from the backup, that's your option. Let me demonstrate individual file recovery as an example. So we've selected the physical backup. On the right side, you have the list of recovery points. So you can choose, let's say, first recovery point. Let's proceed to the next step. And over here, you have the following options. Either you can recover the backup to original location or to another server, or you can use the browser to download the files. So let me select this method, which is easier, and let's just click on the next step. Now NAKIVO needs to go to the backups and review the structure of the files. As you see, it was very quick, so we can see the partitions now. We can expand the partitions and go to any type of folder. Over here we have NAKIVO folder with some transporter information. Let's assume we would like to recover some files from this one. So we have a couple of folders and a couple of files selected. We can see those in this list. And as a next step, we need to provide a recovery type. So we either download it via the web browser, or we can forward the files via email in an archived format. So let me just download it locally. The activity has been completed, and now we see the zip archive which was downloaded. Let me open it up. All right, it's over here, and we see all the files which were recovered. As you see, it was very quick in terms of recovering. Now let me focus on the other features we recently added with our versions, and let me give you like a brief idea in terms of integrating with AWS S3 and Office 365 as well. So in order to integrate, let's say, Office 365 account, all you need to do, again, you need to first add the account into the inventory. So you click on Add New, Microsoft 365 account. Then you need to provide a couple of IDs from Azure Cloud. So in order to perform integration, you need to go to Azure portal and find or generate those IDs. So to find out how to do that, I would recommend you just to go to Online Help Center and type Office 365, that one. So this will give you a long list of 365. I will show you an example. It just says add in Microsoft 365 accounts. That's the complete workaround how to perform and how to find those credentials. So I will not stop on that one at this stage, and I will just give you a real example. We have already added some Office 365 account, and you can see the mailboxes and OneDrive reflected over here. So as a next step, so first step would be, of course, adding the account. The next step would be to create a backup repository. So make sure when you add a backup repository, and if you would like to create backup Office 365, you select this option, which is SaaS Backup Repository. This is specifically designed for Microsoft 365 objects. Once you click on Next, you need to provide the assigned transporter, which will be responsible for this repository. Please note that you don't need to run this transporter in Azure Cloud. So this can be local transporter. As you see, I can easily select the local transporter, but I don't have a chance to select, of course, transporter, which is responsible for physical backups, which is our Linux physical. But any local transporter would be fine. And then this local transporter will be responsible for performing the transportations of the data from from Office 365 to onboard repository. Once you have created the repository, as in my example over here, you can back up the data with NAKIVO Backup and Replication. Let me create the Office 365 backup job. Again, 5 simple steps. For example, I would like to back up my account. I would like to back up mailbox and OneDrive. Destination would be our pre-created repository. The scheduler would be the same, so I'll skip this option. The same way you can create multiple recovery points and provide GFS backup rotation, and then just the extra options when you do the backups. That's it basically. So you click on finish and you have the backup job completed. Quite easy. So let me just perform the recoveries. I have already some things completed. So I click on Recover, Microsoft 365. In my case, I have the mailbox recovery. So my mailbox was backed up, as you see, a long time ago. So let's select the first recovery, not first, the last one, let's say. And once we recover, we need to provide the recovery account. In my case, I have only one account discovered, so I will recover to that one. And now let me go to the objects of this account and try to perform the recovery. So this would require a bit more time if we compare with the physical server backup, but it should appear pretty soon. So once NAKIVO goes to the backup repository and discovers the content, you can indicate the inbox of my account, and then you can select the emails you wish to recover and click next step. By the way, you can just click on each email and read that email. And as a next step, you can perform recovery type. So recover either to original location or recover to another mailbox if you have that mailbox discovered. And you can provide override behavior. So either you rename if the item exists, or you skip recovered item if this one exists already, or you overwrite the original item. And that's it. You click on recover, and this job will appear in activities, and in a couple of seconds, it's still running. So you can see, so we need to wait a couple of seconds, and the mailboxes will be recovered quickly. So you can see that one in your Office 365. All right, and let me just briefly touch the users and roles, which is quite interesting as well. So for that one, again, I'm going to the settings and users and roles, and you can create roles. First of all, you have the list of pre-created roles with NAKIVO Backup and Replication. You can easily duplicate or clone those roles if you would like to do modifications. Let's take this recovery operator. And the recovery operator, that's the person that performs the backup and replication jobs. But the recovery operator does not have the access to the settings of the product. If you want to modify this recovery operator directly, you just click on Manage, Edit, and you can see the permissions, and you can modify directly from here. So if you would like to restrict fully the configuration access, you can just select view only, or as you see, there are some things that are restricted. There are some things that are in a view only state. So let's use this pre-created role and create a new user. So for this one, I can either click over here, add new user, or I can move to the users view and add new user from here. By the way, you can easily integrate with Active Directory, provide the settings, and Active Directory will be mapped to NAKIVO, and you can then allocate the roles to that Active Directory users. So we had, let's say, recovery operator number 1. Name would be admin, that's fine. Let's generate the password. And let's select the role, which is recovery operator. Well, the permissions, let's keep it as is. So we've created the recovery operator, which was, yes, it was created. Now let us test. Recovery operator number 1, and the role, the password. So we have performed successfully the login with the new users. And as you see, I'm very much restricted with what I can do in terms of settings. But once I go to the dashboard, I can easily create any type of recovery and backup job. Oh yeah, actually, well, you cannot create the recoveries because that's the recovery operator. So recovery operator, it was my mistake. Recovery operator performs only recovery procedures. In fact, backup operator can do anything with the account, but recovery operator can do only recovery of the files, application objects, and full VMs. So as you see, I'm restricted with doing the backups and replications, but I can do anything in terms of recovery. So this feature is amazing, I would say. So it gives you flexibility on delegating the different things with NAKIVO Backup and Replication to your colleagues within the company. Especially this one will be useful for multi-tenant environments as well. So you can grant for each tenant different types of roles to different types of users within the company. All right, so that was it from my side. As I've mentioned before, if you have any questions, feel free to post those, and I will pass the presentation to my colleague.
Okay. Okay, now let's proceed to the upgrades and pricing. We offer a range of editions designed to deliver added functionality and more powerful data protections. Each edition upgrade offers more features than those listed here, but so we just highlight some of them. If you would like to get a complete detail, please contact your IB channel managers or go to nakivo.com. Upgrading to Enterprise or Enterprise Essential from the Pro editions give you the option to store the backup to the cloud with Amazon S3 or Wasabi, as well as provide you with a host of advanced administrations and replication tools. Lastly, upgrading to Enterprise Plus gives you every features in NAKIVO Backup and Replication, including the newest feature, which is Oracle Databases Backup via RMAN. So are you interested in any of the features offered in higher editions of NAKIVO Backup and Replication? You can try them for free with the 15 days of free trial. It unlocks every features and does not have any capacity restrictions, so you can see firsthand how these features work in your infrastructure. If you are interested in upgrading, contact your IB general manager. In your case, it will be me, and I can put together a code for you. You are able to upgrade from any edition to any higher edition. We would also like to draw your attention to the benefits of a support upgrade to 24/7 support. With 24/7 support, you can access to our technical expert via the phone, chat every day of the year at any time. Our experts are always ready to help you to solve any problems of any complexities. As a reminder, 24/7 support is automatically included with subscription licenses. If you're interested in purchasing a support upgrade, please contact me to get needed help and assistance and have your question answered. And now to wrap it up, we would like to quickly remind you of the benefits of renewing your NAKIVO Backup and Replication Support Plan. Not only ensuring uninterrupted protections and guarantee continued access to our technical support, but also being able to leverage the latest update and versions and lock in your support at an affordable price. Now we are ready to answer any of your questions. So please go ahead and type your question in the dedicated question box in the control panel. Okay, so I saw a question that how the licensing work for Office 365 backup. For Office 365 backup, we license per user, so it like per the mailboxes. The minimum number for the first order will be 10 users. And we have the option from 1 to 5 years of subscription license. If you are wondering if like NAKIVO counted the share mailboxes, then we do not count the share mailboxes, only the main mailboxes.
Okay, Alan, and I will cover the rest of the questions. As I see, Timo is asking for if we are looking at backing up G Suite. So I can say that for this year we already booked with the features, but we are planning this feature for the next one. So once we add full support of Office 365, we will be looking at G Suite then. Full support, I mean, we are adding now the SharePoint as a new one for Office 365, and then we will be adding extra Office 365 applications. So we can cover fully 365, and then we'll be moving to the G Suite. Thank you for the question. We are another one from Glenn. We can back up physical machine, but how about restoring a complete backup to physical? Yeah, restoring complete backup to physical is also one of the things that in our roadmap at this stage. You can restore to virtual and yeah, you can export the backups to different types of format, and you can restore on object and file level recovery, of course. Thank you for the question. Another one from Patrick. Currently, so he's asking, there is no issue with the Exchange object recovery. Well, Patrick, I would recommend just to talk with your account manager, with Alan, and clarify what type of issue is that, so we can be exact on this one, and we can back up and we can get back to you just to answer this question. So I'm not sure exactly about what type of issue you're talking about. So we'll move to the next question. Thanks for the question. Can we back up a specific folder, not entire machine of VM? At this stage, you cannot back up the folder because NAKIVO works on a snapshot level. It's either related to a virtual machine backup or physical machine backup. So we need to take the machine as a whole. What you can do if you have specific data and you would like to back up on the specific data, you can just create a disk which is related to this data backup and move the data to the specific disk. So NAKIVO can back up only that disk. So the granularity of the backup at this stage is the disk, not the folder. Another question about G Suite. So thanks. We will consider this one, of course. Can I use NAKIVO backup a VM? So the question is it possible to back up a virtual machine in case there is no access to the hypervisor? And actually, yes, that's possible, and you can use physical, you can treat that virtual machine as a physical, right? Timo, you are absolutely right. So you can treat it as a physical, discover it as a physical, and back it up as a physical machine. So this is in case you don't have an access to the hypervisor, right? Another question, interesting one. Thank you, Andrew. So is there a roadmap to back up directly to Azure Blob Storage without mapping? Right. So this one is in our roadmap as well for the next year, Azure Blob. Okay, so let me wait for a couple of more minutes. If anyone is typing, we can cover those questions. If we have not covered any of your questions, or if you have any extra questions, feel free to send us an email and we will cover that one. And as I've mentioned before, if you need any kind of dedicated demo of the specific feature, so talk to Alan. We will schedule the time convenient for you, and we will show you all details about that specific feature, and we can just chat one-to-one, and you can ask the questions directly to us. Another question, good one, from Leo. Is the restore of Active Directory objects still via PowerShell? This one also needs to be clarified. So I think Alan will get back to you. We just need to clarify this one if it's already developed the other way, or it's still with the PowerShell. All right, so since there is no questions anymore, so I think we are all set with this one. So Alan, you can continue.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Okay, as I mentioned, you will receive an email with a short survey soon after the webinars. We will be happy to know about your opinion. It will help us to get better. And just a friendly reminder again, if you need any of any kind of deployment sessions or a demo, please do not hesitate to contact me, and I will schedule it at any time. Okay, thanks a lot for your attention and your time today, guys. Goodbye.